Yeah, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, before starting, I just want to tell you one thing. Response, I want response. In the chat, I want response. Am I audible? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Dev. Yeah. So, hello, everyone. We are going to start the Python core plus advanced session from today onwards. And for the next 3 days, it will be demo for you guys. And for any queries or any questions if you have regarding fees and all, you can ask me or as well as you can contact to this number also. Okay. So hi, my name is Pratyush. I'm going to start the Python core plus advanced course today. And the session timing will be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay. It will be Monday to Friday. Okay. Then, and also it is 2 month course, right? In this 2 month, we are going to see everything about the core part and the advanced part of Python. Apart from this, for more details, you can contact to this number. Okay, fine. So without wasting the time, what are the things we are going to see? Okay, today, today we are going to see and backend. Okay, what is front end and back end? This is first before knowing what we are learning. Okay, before knowing what we are learning, we should know about what why we are learning. Okay, what is the purpose of learning anything? So first we are going to see what is front end and what is back end, right? After this after this we'll start we'll start the history of Python. Okay, the history of Python. Also, we should know from where it has been evolved and from where it has been developed, where they have created, who is the creator of this Python, and when they have developed this. Okay, what is the company of Python? Everything we are going to see. Okay. Now the third thing, third versions of Python, right? This is really important to know what are the versions till now we have. Okay, and now what is the latest version we have? Got it? Next is we are also going to see Python applications. Okay, Python applications. And Python application means nothing but with the help of Python, what are the things we can create? What are the things we can develop? Fine. And last but not the least, we'll see features of Python. Fine. For today, we are going to see, for time being, we are going to see this four thing. For the time being, we are going to see this four thing. Okay. What is front end and back end? Then we'll see something called history of Python. Then also we are going to see version of Python and application of Python. If time allows, then we'll start the features of Python. Fine. So this four thing we are going to see today. Fine. I want response. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now we'll start with what is front end and what is back end. Right. So we'll see this. we'll see this. What is front end? As the name says, front end is something that a user can see. First of all, whatever we can see, whatever we can interact, and we can experience it, that is nothing but front end. Okay, let's suppose I'm giving one example. Let's suppose here python.org. Python.org. This is one of the website that is the original and the website for Python. Are you facing problem, uh, Roshni? Am I audible to everyone? Yeah, Roshni, once check your connectivity and then come again. Fine. Then now this is the website. Okay, this is the website for Python, right? This is the official website for Python. Here you can see lots of things are there. We can download the Python, we can see the documents, we can see the community, what are the communities, we can see the success story of this, and also news and events, right? Lots of things are there, lots of modules are there, lots of stuffs are there. You can see, you can fetch, you can access it, right? So this is one of the website, right? So what front end says? Front end says front end is something that a user can see, right? Now in this case you can see it, right? You can see this, you can see whole of this. And also what it says, you can interact, you can interact with that. If you touch this, if you see this, once I click, I'm touching the document, it is showing all of this options, right? If I'm touching community, it is showing all of this options, right? So we are interacting with the user interface, we are interacting with the interface, right? We are actually, the user is interacting with the interface. That's why it is known as UI, user interface, right? User is going to interact with the interface. Got it? Then the third thing is experience. We are also taking some experience. This is what the experience, how good it is looking. If you see, if I'm clicking here, something is happening. If I'm clicking here, something is happening. If I'm clicking here, some pop-up is giving, right? Something is happening here, right? So every button, everything has some task to do, everything has some work to do, right? In this case everything has some work to do, right? So this is nothing but three things are: user can see it, user can interact with it, and user can experience something, right? So this is nothing but it comes under front end part, right? Next is, it majorly involves programming or coding the part of the website and application that are visible to the user. Now the same example I'm giving you, behind this whole thing there is lots of programming, right? There are lots of programming they have done to create this website. If you see, if you want to see, not everything we can see, some part is confidential here. If you see, everything has particular block of code, right? If you can see this, how amazing they have written this. If you see this, from the starting they have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript in this, right? If you see style, HTML class, right? Then JavaScript also they have used. So what they are doing, they have constructed a beautiful website for this Python, right? And with the help of these codes, some you can see here, but some you cannot see because some are confidential, you cannot, the user cannot see it, right? So you can see how beautiful they have written this code. and how beautiful they have created this website, right? So this is something which a front end developer can create, right? If you see, if we are clicking on this, right, it is showing, let's suppose this one, right? Here is the code. This is the code for this page. So for every click there is separate code. For each and every click you can see there is some separate block of code which has been written in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or any other languages also, right? So this is nothing but the front end part, right? What it says, the majorly involves programming or coding, the part of the website and the application that are visible to the user. This whole thing are visible to us, and also we can see some part of the codes, right? Some part of the codes. This is nothing but front end, right? The person who develops the front end is known as front end developer. Okay, those who are developing the front end part, they are nothing but the front end developer. You can become
వాడు ఎలాగో ఏమనలేదు మెంట పిక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఎలాగో ల్యాప్టాప్ ఓపెన్ చేయమంటారు కూర్చొని మెంట పిక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఏం కాదు నాకేమో
who is
ఆనియన్
this? Could you please
కారం
mute your mic? Okay, thank you so much. So this is nothing but who can develop the front end part. They are nothing but front end developer, right? You also can become a front end developer if you knows HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Likewise, lots of stuffs are there. You can go ahead for that, right? Now, the work of front end developer is to build on the user interface and user experience design, right? The work of front end developer is what? Is to build on the user interface, right? User interface, UI, and user experience. Based on the user experience design, they are going to create, or they are going to build a strong application, web application, right? Key skills of front end developer includes knowing HTML, right? Knowing HTML, knowing CSS, JavaScript. This comes under front end development, right? And also some frameworks such as Node.js, such as AngularJS, and etc., right? But in case of Python, we are working with the frameworks called Django, Flask, Bottle, Web2Py, CherryPy, etc., right? And also, along with this, if you have the knowledge of Git and GitHub, that would be beneficial for you. Okay, that would be beneficial for you. So till now we have seen front end part, right? Something user can see, interact, and experience, right? See, interact, and experience. That is nothing but front end part, right? Who is front end developer? Who can develop the front end part? They are nothing but front end developer, right? And on what basis they are developing? They have to see the user interface, as well as they have to also focus on user experience design, right? And the major involves the it majorly involves programming or coding, right? And part of website and application that are visible to the user. Just now we have seen what these are, right? So we have seen what is the front end part. Now we'll come to what is back end, right? What is back end? So if you can see, action taken by the user are analyzed, right? Whatever the action is nothing but whatever the if you are clicking on something, right? If you are clicking on download, it should show these many options. This is nothing but a task. Okay, so this is nothing but the action. And if you see, action taken by the user are analyzed. Analyzed means If you are clicking on this should show these things. Okay, and also it should have some sense to show, right? So we are going to analyze fetch is nothing but to getting out something, and that can be happen if you have the database, right? You are going to store each and everything on some database, inside some database, so that in later part you can fetch it also, right? So two three things are analyzed, fetched, and delivered back by the backend through the codes, right? Backend through the codes written. So the thing is, we are going to analyze, we are going to fetch it and deliver back by the backend through the codes written. And this could be anything. Python is also there, Java is also there, .NET is also there. We can use any of them, right? Ruby is also there. So backend process is nothing but which takes an action from the user and analyze it and fetch it and deliver back by the backend, right? This is nothing but the backend part. The person who develops the backend is known as backend developer, right? We cannot see the backend process of any application. We cannot see the backend process. How we have seen the front end part of this, right? How we have seen the front end, because that's what the thing which user can see, that is nothing but front end part. The thing which user cannot see, that is nothing but the back end part. But it has some task to do, it has some action to perform, right? Here you can see the codes of these many blocks, these many stuffs, right? But for the backend you cannot see. Only the developer can see the backend process. Fine. The person who develops the backend is nothing but the backend developer. The major work, the major work of a backend developer includes linking every aspect of front end together with the database, right? Sorry, linking every aspect of the front end together and with the database. See, whenever we are creating any application, we have to create the front end for user interface purpose, for backend to take the task, right? And also, let's suppose I'm giving one example of Facebook. Initially you have to create your ID and password, right? Your, what you can say, ID, right? Facebook ID you have to create. For that you have to give some data, right? Data to Facebook. That data is getting stored somewhere called database, right? So every data whatever you are inserting in a website, that is getting stored in something, that is nothing but the database. Nowadays the companies are using cloud, right? The companies are using cloud to store the database, the data, right? Here database is also something which is really important in the part of backend. Okay, so the major part work of backend developer is nothing but to linking every aspect of front end together and with the back database, right? So that is the major role of backend. And apart from this, a primary skill of backend developer includes knowing backend languages such as Python, Java, Ruby, or etc. Lots of languages are there, right? So nowadays Python is booming the industry. Python is ruling the industry, you can say, right? Now, apart from this, if you have the knowledge of DBMS, which is nothing but database management system, how you can manage the database, right? That would be one plus point for you, advantage for you. And also if you know the thing of API, right? Application programming interface, that will be beneficial for you if you know these many stuffs. Okay, yes or no? Only one response I got. Fine. Now, so till now, what we have seen the front end, right? We have seen the front end, and also we have seen what are the things we can use to become a front end developer, which are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and framework such as AngularJS, Node.js. But in case of Python, we have something called Django, Flask, Bottle, Web2Py, and CherryPy, and lots of stuffs are there, right? So these many frameworks you can use to create a front end, right? Now, the thing is, if you know everything about front end and back end, means if you know everything about the front end called HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some frameworks like Django, Flask, Bottle, any one of them, right? From the framework, if you know any of one, so you can become, if you know, if you know all these things, you can become a full stack developer, right? If you know all of this, right? If you know all these things, you can become, means if you know the stuffs what we have in front end like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also along with this, if you know Django, Flask, or Web2Py or Bottle, and also if you have the knowledge of backend like Python or Java or Ruby, and also you have the knowledge about SQL, MySQL, or any other thing, and also you have something called API, then you can become a full stack developer, right? You can become a full stack developer. Got it? This is something what we have called backend and front end. Have any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. I want response.
Uh, Hi Pratyush, Yasin here.
Yeah.
Have one doubt. As you mentioned, we use for front-end development, we use HTML, CSS, these things, right? So can we use
Okay.
Python also for front-end development? Because I saw Python is used for back-end development in the slide. So can we use
No.
Python for?
Basically, see, Python is a backend development process, right? Python is a backend language. Front end is something you can interact with, right? But Python is something which plays with logics, right? Which has something to do background. Okay, they have something to do in background. That's why we can only use it for logical purpose. That action, the user, what the user want, the action, that only can be that you can see here what we have written here, analyzed, means with the help of that, with the help of database, with the help of the any backend languages, you can go with these many things, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that is the part of, you can say, full stack development, right? This is the part of it. As HTML is used for creating the website, CSS to give more efficient designs, right? You can say JavaScript for logical purpose, right? Everything has some task, everything has particular thing to do, right? Likewise, why it is called backend process? Because Python, Java, Ruby, any language which belongs to backend, that has some task, that has some something has to do, right? Here you can see action taken by the user, whatever the user want, that has to be analyzed, that has to be fetched, and also that has to be delivered back by the backend, right? So we are writing the code for the backend only in backend process. Got it? Chalo.
Yeah, got it.
Now we'll see. Yeah. Now we'll start with history of Python. Right? We'll start with the history of Python. Before knowing what is Python, why we are learning Python, what are the features of Python we have, we should also know about the history of Python. Because sometimes in interviews, they may ask you these many questions also. When they have created Python, who is the creator of Python, who developed Python, where they have developed the Python, or else also from where it has inspired from. Okay. Now, first point is Python programming organized in the 1980s. First, this Python programming came into the picture in the year 1980, right? But they haven't implemented at that time. But after that, in 1989, they have implemented the Python programming. Okay. After this, the official release of Python occurred in 1991 February. So basically, officially, they have released the Python in the year 1991, right? And someone called Guido van Rossum, he is the creator of the Python. He is the developer of the Python. Who developed Python? Guido van Rossum. Next time, if I ask you who is the inventor, who is the creator of Python, you can say Guido van Rossum is the creator or the inventor of the Python, right? After this, where they have developed this, that is nothing but CWI Institute of Netherlands, Centrum Wiskunde and Informatic Institute in the Netherlands, right? These many things you should know before learning Python. And also, it has been inspired from some language called ABC programming language, right? They have used C, C++. Okay, they got inspired from all those languages. And one thing you won't believe is, you have heard about that Java is so popular language. Java is known for their robustness. Java is older language, but no, Python is much more older than Java. Python is much more older than Java, right? So that's why Python also is having some robustness. It is also a strong language. We'll see why we are calling it as a strong language, right? One by one, we'll see. For the time being, we'll only going to see some of these things. Okay. So initially, what we have seen, Python programming organized in 1980s. Sorry, originated in 1980s, right? This came into picture in 1980s. They started implementing it in 1989. Then officially released was in 1991 February. Also, the creator of Python is nothing but, who is the creator of Python? Guido van Rossum. Then where they have developed this? So the institute called CWI in the Netherlands, right? In the Netherlands. And also from where they have inspired to create this Python, that is nothing but the ABC language. They got inspired from this many languages, so that they have created something called Python, right? Now we'll see the versions of Python, and those who want to download the Python, you can see this video, you can see this lecture, and you will get the idea of how we can download the Python, latest version of Python, and also some more version we can see there, right? So initial days, they have came up with the version called Python 2.a, right? Python 2.a. A is nothing but, here you can keep any number. Any number means they have created from 1 to 7. So initial days they have created 2.1. Then some upgradation, after some upgradation they have created 2.2. Then some update was there, 2.3, 2.4. Likewise, they have created till 2.7. But after 2.7, they have came up with 3.8, right? Python 3.8, which is still going on. Still, we are running with 3.8. Okay, the versions are different, but the initial version is same, 3, right? Third version it is, but somehow they have updated with some of stuffs, some features they had added, right? Now till 10 we have seen. Also they have implemented this 11, and also now we are working with 12, right? We are working with 12. 12 is the latest version. So if someone asks which version you are using, you can say Python 3, sorry, Python 3.12 version, Python 3.12 version we are using, right? Python 3.12 version. Now if you see, if you want to see, this is one of the website which we have seen before this one, right? This one. So if you see here, it is showing download the latest version of Python, which is nothing but Python 3.12.2, right? This is the latest version. If you click on this, it will automatically download it. And this is open source. Python is an open source language. You can use it without any cost. It is free of cost, so you can go ahead to download it and you can use it, right? You can use either it, you can use it like ideally. You can see, you can use this ideally. If you open this, this is the ideally 3.11. I'm using 3.11. We'll see, if you want, I can download 3.12 also, right? There you can type any command like a is equals to 20, b is equals to 30. This is what we are initializing. Later on we'll see what we can do with this. Okay, a plus b is nothing but 50. Likewise, you can write, this is just you can see, say this is just command we are giving, right? And also, if you want to write a longer code, you can write it here, right? You have to create the file. Fine, this is simple thing, we'll see later on. So here you can download the Python 3.1.2, sorry, 3.112.2, right? This is one of the latest version of Python, right? If you want to see the older version, you can go with this. Here you can see lots of older version also, right? Here you can see 3.1.11.8 that has released Feb 6 2024. This is also released in December 8 2023, 3.12.1, right? Next, if you see lots of versions are there, you can go and download it, right? But now it is Python 3.12.2, right? You can download this also. If you have a good configuration of your system, then you can go ahead with this. Or if you have any Windows 7 or Windows 10 also, it is fine. If you have Windows 7 and if your system is not up to the mark, then you can download the older version, right? Yeah, so this is something you can see. Okay, and what is the uh, company name of this Python? So company name is nothing but Python Software Foundation, right? PSF, Python Software Foundation. Got it? The Python software and its updates are overseen by the Python Software Foundation, a non-commercial organization, right? Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Shall we go ahead? Fine, fine. Thank you. Now, this is something what we can. Now, from where Python has got inspired, right? So there are a few things. Python drew inspired from four distinct languages, right? Four distinct languages. Functional programming principles were influenced by C programming. If you have heard about C programming, often we are calling it as C programming is a procedural oriented or functional oriented programming language. This C programming totally depends on the functional, okay, functions. Okay, what is function? Function is nothing but it is a set of rules, set of sub programs, right? It is a set of sub programs. Okay, we'll see what is function. So that is nothing but it also influenced with C programming for what? Functional programming principle. Okay, object oriented concept, oops concept we are calling it as, right? Oops concept were derived from C++. After C they have came up with C++, that is the extended version of C, right? And they have came up with something called object oriented programming. Object oriented programming to make our program more secure, they have came up with object oriented concepts. Then after that they have also inspired from Perl. Perl is a scripting language, right? Perl is something called scripting language, and modular programming ideas were borrowed from Modula 3. Okay, Modula 3, that is for modular programming. Got it? So for initially they have seen the functional programming principle by C. Then for object oriented programming they have chosen C++. Also for scripting language they have seen Perl. Okay, after that for modular programming ideas they were borrowed from Modula 3. Got it? This is what something the Python inspired from. Got it? So C for functional oriented, C++ for object oriented, Perl for scripting language, and Modular 3 for modular programming. Modular programming, right? Now the last topic what we are going to see is the real-time application of Python program. The real-time applications of Python program. With the help of Python, what are the application or what are the things we can do, right? What are the applications we can create? So if you see, now you have more than 22 real-time applications we can create. Nowadays it has been increased, right? Every day they are coming up with some new ideas, some new things, right? So almost 22 plus real-time applications we can develop. And application means the area, right? The what we can say, the applications of some particular area we can develop. For an example, web application development. Web application development means you can create your website. You can create your website and you can use something called framework and backend process to create web application development, to create the web application, right? In the case of Java, if you see, servlets and JSP are the frameworks to connect or to work with front end and back end, right? Servlet, JSP. Okay. For C Sharp or .NET, we are using ASP.NET, but we are not going to see this much. We are going to see for Python, right? For Python, we have Django, Flask, Bottle, CherryPy. Likewise, lots of so many frameworks are there. You can go ahead with that, right? For creating web application, one thing is needed, which is front end development. Then if you see, you also have to create the frameworks. The frameworks are there, you can use the frameworks, and also one backend language, which is nothing but Python. So with the help of Python, you can go ahead with creating Python application, sorry, web applications, right? Also you can develop something called gaming application, right? Some modules are there, different types of modules are there, libraries are there, right? For gaming, one thing is called Pygame, right? Pygame has lots of thing into it, right? So you can use Pygame application, Pygame module to create gaming applications, right? Also we are using the Python nowadays. Artificial intelligence is booming in the industries, okay, and with the help of Python they are using, whether it is it could be anything, right? In a artificial intelligence, it could be a neural network, it could be a natural language processing. In machine learning they are using, in deep learning they are using, in each and everything inside artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, neural network, and natural language processing. Also for data analysis they are using the same Python, right? So lots of things with the help of Python we can go ahead with, right? You can also, if you learn Python, if you learn AI, if you learn machine learning along with Python, you can become a Python engineer, sorry, machine learning engineer, or a AI engineer, or deep learning engineer, or NLP engineer, anything you can become, right? The thing is you have to learn these many stuffs if you want to become this engineer, AI engineer, ML engineer, DL engineer, anything. If you want, you can go ahead along with Python, right? Also you can create desktop GUI application, graphical user interface, right? With the help of Python you can develop GUI applications, right? Image processing applications, with the help of image processing. If you have heard about this OpenCV, okay, text processing, okay, it comes under NLP also, text processing also, web scraping, business application, audio video based application. Here you can see web application, web scraping application, or web harvesting application, right? These are something you can do. Data visualization, for visualization, right? If you have, if you are in into any organization where do you want to visualize your stuff, visualize your data, then you can go ahead with Python. With the use of Python, with the use of some data visualization tools like Tableau or Power BI, you can visualize it very easily, right? You can also use Excel, right? Complex math calculations, this you can do with Python, right? See, in Python they have a huge set of libraries, a huge set of libraries, modules, so that they can use this, they can use those libraries to create this many stuffs, to create this many applications, right? Also it is working in scientific applications, also software development, operating system. With the help of this you can create CAD and CAM based application, right? Embedded application, IoT based, language application, automation, testing. For testing also we are using the Python nowadays, right? Java, before that they have they were using Java. Nowadays Python is also into it, right? Animation application, data analysis. I told you about this. We can use the Python for data analysis and data analytics, right? And also even you can use it in education sector, computer vision, OpenCV, right? With the help of OpenCV you can create lots of project, real time projects, right? For your graduation, if you want to make projects on that, you can make use of computer vision, you can make use of AI, ML, right? If you want to make a project on AI ML deep learning, you can go ahead with that. You can make a natural language processing project, right? But you also have to use Python along with that. Got it? So lots of applications you can create with the help of Python. Okay, that's why it is called a strong language, and most popular language it is, because it has huge set of libraries, right? What is library, what these are, will tell you. I'll tell you in deep of each and every concept, right? So till now we have seen, first of all, the session will be 10 to 11 a.m. Okay, this is core plus advanced Python. Then it is 2 month of the duration. If you have any questions regarding fees and anything, you can ask me, or also contact this number, right? So today we have seen what are the concept. We have seen the front end and back end. We have seen the history of Python. Also we have seen the version of Python, right? And the applications where the Python can be implemented to create an application, right? So this many stuffs we have seen today. Also, features of Python are there. Lots of features are there, right? Tomorrow I'll start with the features of Python. So till now, for the time being, we have seen this many stuff, right? And front end is something user can interact with, right? User can interact, user can see. Back end is nothing but to take action from the user and analyze it, fetch it, and deliver it back, right? With the help of code written, what we have, the code we have written, right? Any language you can use, like Python, Java, Ruby, any language you can use, right? And those who develop front end, they are front end developer. Those who develop back end, they are back end developer, right? Front end includes HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Such frameworks are Angular JS, Node.js, or in case of Python, it is Django, Flask, Bottle, Web2Py, CherryPy. Right? Along with, if you have the knowledge of version control called Git or GitHub, right? Git or GitHub, then it would be beneficial for you, right? And for backend, if you have the knowledge of DBMS and API, that will also be helpful for you to become full stack developer, right? If you know all this stuff, then you can become a full stack developer. Next, along with this, you should also know about the history of Python. It came into picture in 1980s. They have started implementing in the year 1989. Officially released was 1991. And who is the creator of Python? Who is the creator of Python? Tell me quickly. I want answer. Everyone. Everyone. Bala Raju Praveen, Bandhan, Dev, Lokesh, Nikhil, Radhashri, Roshini, Tarun, Yasin Sheikh. If I ask tomorrow who is the creator of Python, you should know about this. You have to answer me. Right? Fine. Great. Amazing. You guys are amazing. So Guido van Rossum, right? And also where they have developed this Python, CWI, Centrum Wiskunde Informatic Institute in the Netherlands, right? and also it has been inspired from ABC programming language, right? ABC programming language. They have some versions called 2.A and 3.A. Now we are working with 3.12.2. That is the latest version. 2. Is the older version, but somehow you can use in the lower configuration laptop or any system. Lower configured laptop or system, you can use this 2.A. Got it? Okay, Python Software Foundation, PSF, Python Software Foundation. It is non-commercial organization, right? It is a non-commercial organization. They have inspired, the Python is inspired from four different things. For functional oriented programming, it is influenced by C. For OOPS, it is C++. For scripting language, it is Perl. For modular, for or modulo based, if it is inspired from Modula 3. Got it? Also, we have seen this many applications. With the help of Python, we can create 22 plus applications. Almost 22 plus application you can create, right? This is what all about the simple stuffs what we have seen today, right? If you have any doubt, if you have any questions, if you have any query, you can ask me.
I You mentioned in the application you said as web development also for the Python. So to my understanding is for the backend, because you said for the front end we use other HTML, CSS, right? And in the application you said web development and Python also used. So
Yeah, so
it's for
that is
backend then.
actually, yeah, that is actually what Python we are using for is nothing but backend, right?
Okay.
But anyhow, for making front end, we have to know about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or any other front end languages, right?
Okay. Mhm.
See,
Okay.
we have two terms, backend and front end. Front end developer are different, backend developer are different. If you see, this many application you can create, right? For an example, let's suppose we are seeing this web application, right? For
Mhm.
web application, Python is the backend language.
Okay.
Python is the backend language, and with the help of Python and Django, we can use the front end part to merge all the front end and back end and make an application,
Okay.
right? Yeah, I am saying that Python is one of the language. With the help of this language, you can create web applications,
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
right?
Okay.
Sir, because of AI, Python domain key problem. One thing I would like to tell you guys that better if we go for English communication, right? Because I don't know Telugu, so if you can communicate in English, that would be better, right? Could you please translate it, what it is, sir, because of AI Python domain? Balaraju, could you please come again? Yeah,
Good
someone is
morning, sir.
asking. Yeah,
Sir, nowadays everyone suffering because of AI. Jobs are
okay,
closing like that. Uh,
yeah,
Recently, Divine also on AI came, like automation and everything. Code.
yeah.
Uh, Now,
See,
can we go
fresh,
to Python?
why not? Why you are so worried about AI? It is a tool which we can use for creating lots of things, right? There won't be any cutoff because of AI. I am telling you. AI is just a tool. It is not a god. AI is just a tool. We can take a benefit from that, but we cannot say AI can destroy each and everything, right? Eventually, they need humans to develop each and everything. Okay, because of the market, because of the layoffs, because of recession, you can say some jobs are not there. But somehow, after a while, you may get the job. Definitely, you will get the job in these many fields.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other question?
I have one question. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
go ahead. Go ahead.
don't have any basic knowledge of software. So, if you say core and advanced, so to my understanding, it's that you're teaching from the basics, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. And then this core and advanced after this, is that possible? I mean, I'm not. It's not possible. It's a wrong question. I'm asking. So with this, I can able to do some certification, right? Core and advanced
Yeah,
certification.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Something which you can help us or help mm, to guide what to do in terms of
Whatever
certification.
it is there, I can help you.
Okay.
I will definitely help you. Not an issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Still, any doubt? So basically, Django, we'll see the basic of Django. Tarun, we will see the basic of Django, and we will try to because this is 2 month course only, right? We will see the basic of Django as well as we'll try to cover some basic part of HTML also. Okay, I will try. I'll try. Okay, not an issue. I'll try. Fine, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining this. Thank you so much. Still, if you have any doubt, you can contact to this number. Right? Nice session. You guys are amazing. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me, or we can leave the session. Thank you. Thank you. At the same time, tomorrow also you can join. Right? Same time tomorrow. Join at 10 a.m. sharply. Right? Fine. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much.